So at this point, I'm sure most of y'all have heard about the news recently about the recent layoffs that happened to Bungie, despite Sony stating that they're not going to be any layoffs when they first bottomed nearly 2 years ago, which I believe I did cover in one of my previous videos. It was around that time. But so yeah, this is actually really depressing. Just hearing the news and just even looking at the title of this article, and along with that, just like seeing that their planned projects are now getting delayed because of it. So yeah, without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into this, shall we? So for starters, it starts off saying that Bungie is laying off around 100 staffers, as well as delaying two of its forthcoming titles, Marathon and which I believe will be the final expansion. And correct me if I'm wrong, which will be Destiny 2's forthcoming expansion called The Final Shape. And the latter is now expected to launch in 2024 of June, basically June of next year. While Marathon will be launching in about a couple of years from now. So the layoffs were first reported by Bloomberg and are part of the ongoing cuts within Sony's PlayStation division. Ex-Bungie employees, which have begun posting on social media about the layoffs, which did impact around 8% of the studio's workforce. And Sony purchased Bungie last year for a $3.6 billion deal and was supposed to see the Destiny developer operate as an independent unit within the company. So yeah, so here's what this POS CEO has to say about that. So today is a sad day at Bungie as we say goodbye to all the colleagues who have made all the significant impacts on our studio. And then as he wrote on Twitter and X, whatever you want to say it, and then according to Bloomberg's Jason Schreider, the layoffs come several weeks after the meeting with the execs said that Bungie's revenue was 45% lower than projected, and in which Parsons blamed a Lightfall, Destiny 2's most recent poorly received expansion, for a drop in player retention, leading to a very bad shortfall. So the Final Shape is an ambitious new expansion pack for Destiny 2 that is meant to conclude many of the franchise's most significant storylines. It was originally expected to be released on both Sony and Microsoft's platform on February of next year. But however, Marathon is based on the beloved first-person shooter Bungie initially released on the Mac OS back in 1994. The new game is now delayed in 2025 and is expected to be PvP's extraction game. Will be a PvP extraction game. Bungie never guaranteed it would be released in 2024, but had hinted at the plan. So therefore, Bungie's layoff are the latest of what has been brutal been very a brutal year for game developers, with Epic Games cutting about 830 jobs, roughly 16% of its workforce. In September, The Last of Us developer Naughty Dog also cut contractor jobs earlier this month, and developer CD Projekt Red laid off about 100 people in July, and Niantic also laid off 230 staffers and shut down other games focused on Pokemon Go and June. And also, it doesn't say in the article, earlier this year, whenever Microsoft did their layoffs, even 343 got hit really hard and laid off, and a lot of people from that studio got laid off, including like people who were responsible for the positive results of Halo Infinite's campaign with basically the art team and the campaign team. Pierce got laid off and and now basically although it is doing pretty well recently with the new season of Halo Infinite, with season 5 just doing how well it's doing right now, and so that's pretty good. But however, even this current layoffs that's been happening in the Bungie has been I think that kind of feels like the final nail in the coffin for that company, because right now it doesn't even feel like it's the same Bungie that we knew way back in the early to mid 2000s, way back in the 2000s to be exact, whenever they were the ones developing the Halo franchise back in the day before or they actually sent it off and actually made Destiny. And now one of the main composers that used to compose the music for the Halo franchise and Destiny and many other games around that time, who used to compose some of the music with Marty O'Donnell. Well, he got laid off as well, and he was left a really nice, had a really nice portfolio that really showed off a lot of stuff. But all I can say right now, well, like, with these layoffs, like, no matter how good of a portfolio you have, it doesn't mean you're immune to being laid off just like that. It may seem good at first, but the next day you'll just go away with a simple Thanos snap, just like that. And so yeah, and, and of course, this actually has been, and like this with the gaming industry in the recent years, like, basically with these executives, just like they're the ones, like, getting all the job security, but the guys who are laid off they are basically like the cog pieces that are running these studios. It was making those games, and just like and they just like got rid of them. Like, they can get rid of them. These executives are still gonna, like, get their raises and paychecks, and even their bonuses, and even especially, like, with this coming holiday season, when they just gonna be able to stack even more grain. And while the employees, like while the developers are just like the ones who are keeping the companies running, they're the ones getting screwed over. And that's just, that's kind of like in a sad world that we live in. But I know, I get it. It's just like, that's how you run a business. Just like, it all boils down to making profits and trying to benefit your shareholders and all that stuff. But the way they kind of do it is in a very highly unethical way, with their microtransactions and season passes and all that stuff, which I honestly do not agree with that 100%, to be honest. And so yeah, that's kind of like, my 2 cents on this stuff. And if you guys found this video to be helpful and informative, then be sure to drop a like as always. Subscribe for more content like this. Hit the bell to be notified whenever my next video is going to drop. And if you got your own thoughts or opinions based on these recent layoffs that have been happening at Bungie recently, despite what Sony said, and like, about nearly a couple of years ago when they first acquired Bungie, and saying, hey, look, it's guaranteed there's not going to be layoffs, but yet here they are with the layoffs. And go ahead and sound off in the comment section below, get a discussion going, because I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And thank you so much for watching, and as always, we will catch you all in the next one.